What would you do if you discovered that the empire you built wasn't what you thought it was? If beneath the glossy reports and glowing numbers, cracks were forming that could shatter everything you'd worked for? This is the story of David Hunter, a man who built his dream from nothing, who in one unplanned visit as an undercover CEO to his own retail store, uncovered a reality he couldn't ignore. That day everything changed, his perspective, his business, and the lives of the people around him. David was no stranger to hard work. Growing up in a modest Chicago neighborhood, he learned the value of perseverance early. He put himself through college with late nights and early mornings, fueled by the determination to create something bigger than himself. Years later, his dream became reality when he launched Hunter's Haven, a retail store offering affordable, high-quality household essentials. Its tagline, "Crafted for your home," resonated with families from coast to coast. What started as a single cozy shop in a Midwestern town grew into a sprawling enterprise, with hundreds of locations and millions of loyal customers. Yet, as his business expanded, David began to feel a quiet, insistent pull. Something wasn't right. Reports from his executives painted a picture of success, but David couldn't shake the sense that he was losing touch with the lifeblood of his company, the people. Determined to see the truth for himself, David decided to take an unorthodox step. One chilly autumn morning, he transformed into an undercover CEO. Swapping his tailored suit for a pair of jeans and a hoodie, he became just another customer in his own store. Without a word to his staff, he drove to a location he'd never personally visited, store number 307, situated in a busy suburban strip mall outside St. Louis. As an undercover CEO, David wanted to experience what his customers and employees faced daily, and what he discovered would shock him to his core. From the moment he stepped inside, David observed with fresh eyes. The shelves were tidy, the lighting inviting, and the smell of freshly brewed coffee from the in-store cafe was welcoming. At first glance, everything seemed perfect. But as an undercover CEO, David knew the surface didn't always tell the full story. When he approached the customer service counter, the cracks began to show. A line of customers waited impatiently while the counter sat unattended. When an employee finally arrived, his dismissive attitude and lack of professionalism revealed a troubling reality. David's undercover journey wasn't just an exercise in curiosity, it became the turning point that redefined his leadership. What started as a simple visit transformed into a wake-up call that would spark profound changes, not just in his company but in how he approached his role as a leader. Through his experience as an undercover CEO, David rediscovered the heart of his business, the people who made it all possible. If you found David's journey inspiring, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to Soul Deep Stories to join us for more incredible tales of transformation, leadership, and the human spirit. Let's keep exploring the stories that remind us of what truly matters. Your support helps bring these Soul Deep Stories to life, so hit that subscribe button and share this journey with others who need to hear it. Thank you for being part of our growing community. Nate? Bryce muttered, his tone detached, as if assisting customers was an inconvenience rather than his job. David observed quietly as Bryce dismissed the first customer's request for a refund on a defective item, claiming without much explanation that the receipt policy was unclear. The second customer, who had been waiting for several minutes, asked where a specific product was located. Bryce waved vaguely toward the back of the store, his eyes still glued to his phone. When David's turn came, he held up the box of light bulbs he had picked up earlier and asked politely, "Excuse me, could you help me check the price on this?" Bryce barely looked up and jerked his thumb in the direction of a self-service scanner down the aisle. "Scanner's over there," he mumbled. David's chest tightened with disappointment. This wasn't the experience he envisioned when he founded Hunter's Haven. His company had always prided itself on quality service, and seeing such indifference in action felt like a betrayal of everything he stood for. Determined to uncover more, David moved on to explore other parts of the store. As he walked through the aisles, David came across another employee, an older man named Tom, carefully arranging items on the shelves. Unlike Bryce, Tom stopped immediately when he noticed David, smiling warmly. "Good afternoon. How can I help you today?" he asked, his voice friendly and full of energy. David seized the chance to engage with Tom, asking him questions about the store and its products. Tom answered every query with care and enthusiasm, even offering helpful recommendations and tips that exceeded what was required of him. His professionalism and genuine care for the customers stood in stark contrast to Bryce's lackluster performance. "You seem to know this place really well," David said after their conversation. "How long have you worked here?" Tom chuckled, pride flickering in his eyes. "I've been here for over 11 years. This store feels like home to me. I love the customers and what I do. But honestly, it's been harder recently. We're short-staffed and some of the new hires just don't seem to take the job seriously. It's frustrating, but I do my best to keep things running smoothly. David nodded thoughtfully, sensing the weight in Tom's words. This was the kind of employee who had helped build the foundation of Hunter's Haven, someone who worked hard and cared deeply. Yet Tom's dedication wasn't being rewarded, while employees like Bryce appeared to skate by unnoticed. After leaving the store, David drove back to his office with a heavy heart. Over the next few days, he delved into employee records and customer feedback for store number 307. The data confirmed what he had seen: multiple complaints about Bryce's behavior and a pattern of glowing reviews for Tom. David also found that Tom had been recommended for a promotion several times but was consistently overlooked due to budget cuts. This wasn't just a problem with one store, it was a systemic issue. As the company grew, policies meant to streamline operations had unintentionally created blind spots, allowing disengaged employees to thrive while undervaluing those who truly cared. David knew he couldn't ignore what he had seen. His time as an undercover CO wasn't just an exercise in observation, it was a wake-up call. He vowed to fix not just store number 307 but the entire company, starting from its core values and rebuilding a system that truly honored the dedication of employees like Tom. Bryce muttered in a tone more annoyed than helpful. David observed quietly as Bryce dismissed the first customer's request to return a faulty coffee maker, vaguely citing unclear receipt policies without offering any assistance. The second customer, visibly frustrated, asked where a specific product was located, only for Bryce to wave dismissively toward the back of the store, his eyes still glued to his phone. When it was David's turn, he smiled politely and asked, "Excuse me, could you help me check the price on this box of light bulbs?" Bryce didn't even glance at the item before jerking his thumb toward a self-checkout scanner a few aisles away. "There's a scanner over there," he mumbled. David was stunned. This was not the customer service experience he had envisioned for Hunter's Haven. Thanking Bryce curtly, he walked away, his mind racing. Was this behavior an isolated issue, or was it indicative of deeper problems within the company? Determined to find out, David decided to continue observing. A few aisles over, David encountered another employee, a middle-aged man named Tom, carefully stocking shelves. Unlike Bryce, Tom immediately stopped what he was doing and greeted David with a warm smile. "Hi there. How can I help you today?" he asked with genuine enthusiasm. David took the opportunity to ask Tom a few questions about the store's products. Tom answered every question patiently and thoroughly, even going the extra mile to recommend alternatives and share helpful tips. His knowledge of the store and his passion for assisting customers were evident, and his demeanor embodied everything David had hoped Hunter's Haven would stand for. "You seem really dedicated," David remarked. "How long have you been working here?" Tom smiled, his pride evident. "I've been with Hunter's Haven for over 11 years, he said. "I love working here. Feels like home. I know a lot of the regular customers by name and I take pride in helping them. But honestly," his expression shifted slightly, a hint of frustration crossing his face, "it's been tough lately. We're short-staffed and some of the newer hires don't seem to care about the job. It's frustrating, but I just do my best to keep things running smoothly." David nodded, his respect for Tom growing. Here was an employee who clearly understood and lived the values David had built the company on: dedication, service, and respect for the customers. Yet, it was clear that employees like Tom were carrying an unfair burden, while employees like Bryce were coasting with little accountability. After leaving the store, David returned to his office, determined to dig deeper. Over the next few days, he reviewed records for store number 307. Customer feedback revealed glowing praise for Tom, who was frequently mentioned as being helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly. It also showed that Tom had been recommended for promotions multiple times but had been overlooked due to budget constraints. On the other hand, Bryce's name appeared repeatedly in complaints about rude and dismissive behavior, yet no actions had been taken to address his poor performance. David realized that what he had witnessed was not unique to store number 307. It was a symptom of larger systemic issues within Hunter's Haven. The company's rapid expansion had created blind spots that allowed complacency to flourish while hardworking employees like Tom were undervalued. Determined to fix the problem, David resolved to take immediate action. His experience as an undercover CEO had revealed the truth, and now it was time to act. He vowed to overhaul not only the policies and practices that had failed employees like Tom but also to reignite the core values of Hunter's Haven. This wasn't just about fixing one store, It was about rebuilding the foundation of the company from the ground up, ensuring that every employee and every customer experienced the excellence Hunter's Haven was meant to deliver. Overlooked due to budget constraints. The discovery weighed heavily on David. Tom, with his dedication and genuine care for the store and its customers, represented the very ideals David had built Hunter's Haven upon. Yet, despite his hard work and loyalty over more than a decade, Tom had been passed over time and again. Meanwhile, Bryce, whose rude and apathetic behavior had led to multiple customer complaints, continued to operate without accountability. Determined to address the issue head-on, David returned to store number 307, this time as himself. Walking through the doors in his tailored suit, he immediately called a staff meeting. Employees gathered in the break room, their expressions a mix of curiosity and surprise when David introduced himself as the CEO of Hunter's Haven. Bryce's face turned pale, while Tom looked both confused and cautious. David began to speak, his tone steady but charged with emotion. "I started this company with a simple vision, to create a place where customers feel valued and employees feel empowered. But somewhere along the way as we grew, I lost touch with what was happening on the ground. That's why I came here undercover, to see for myself what our customers and employees experience every day." He paused, letting his words sink in before continuing. "What I found was both inspiring and concerning. I met an employee who embodies everything this company stands for: dedication, kindness, and hard work. Tom, your commitment hasn't gone unnoticed. Starting today, you are promoted to assistant manager." Tom's eyes widened in disbelief as the room erupted in applause. His colleagues clapped him on the back, while Tom himself stammered a humble, "Thank you." David then turned his attention to Bryce, who was fidgeting nervously. "But I also saw behavior that doesn't align with our values. Bryce, I'm giving you a choice. You can either commit to improving your attitude and performance, or you may need to reconsider whether this is the right place for you." The room fell silent. Bryce nodded stiffly, avoiding eye contact as David continued. "This isn't just about one store. It's about the culture we create as a company. And that starts with me. I take responsibility for the policies and systems that allowed this to happen." Over the following weeks, David implemented sweeping changes across Hunter's Haven. He launched a comprehensive employee training program to reinforce the company's core values and introduced an anonymous feedback system for employees and customers. Staffing levels were reviewed and adjusted to ensure teams weren't overburdened, and a formal recognition program was established to celebrate dedicated employees like Tom. Under Tom's mentorship, Bryce began to show genuine improvement. He started engaging with customers more respectfully and even sought advice from Tom on how to better handle challenges on the job. Though it took time, Bryce's transformation became a testament to the power of guidance and accountability. David's experience as an undercover CEO was a turning point not just for store number 307 but for the entire company. He had been reminded of the importance of staying connected to the heart of his business, the people. Thanks to this eye-opening visit, Hunter's Haven was not only able to set things right but also to reignite the spirit of service and care that had been its foundation from the very beginning. Applause. Tom's colleagues cheered and congratulated him, patting him on the back, while Tom stood stunned, his gratitude shining through his humble smile. "Thank you, sir," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "I'll do my best to continue making this store and this company something to be proud of." David then turned his attention to Bryce, who was shifting uncomfortably in his seat. The room grew quiet as David spoke, his tone firm but measured. "Bryce, this company is built on respect. Respect for our customers, our employees, and the work we do. What I saw during my visit didn't reflect those values. I believe in second chances and I believe people can change. I'm giving you an opportunity to prove that you can embody the values we stand for, but it's up to you to take that step." Bryce nodded stiffly, unable to meet David's gaze. "Yes, sir," he muttered, clearly aware that his position was on the line. David continued, addressing the entire team. "This isn't just about one store or a few individuals. It's about all of us, including me. As CEO, I take responsibility for creating an environment where dedicated employees like Tom are supported and recognized, and where accountability is a priority." Over the next several months, David introduced sweeping changes across Hunter's Haven. He rolled out enhanced training programs designed to reinforce the company's core values and teach employees the importance of excellent customer service. A mentorship initiative paired experienced team members like Tom with newer hires to foster a culture of support and growth. Additionally, David implemented an anonymous feedback system, encouraging both employees and customers to share their honest opinions and experiences. Staffing levels were also revisited, ensuring that stores were properly supported to prevent burnout and frustration among employees. Promotions and recognitions became more frequent, with a focus on rewarding hard work and commitment. Employees who consistently demonstrated a lack of alignment with the company's values were given clear opportunities to improve but were also held accountable if they didn't. Under Tom's leadership as assistant manager, store number 307 began to thrive. Customer satisfaction scores improved dramatically, and employee morale rose. Even Bryce showed signs of change. With Tom's guidance and mentorship, he became more attentive and engaged with customers, gradually earning back the trust of his colleagues and supervisors. For David, the experience as an undercover CEO was transformative. It reminded him of the heart and soul of his business, the people. While profits and growth were important, they couldn't come at the expense of the values that Hunter's Haven was built on. By addressing the blind spots created by rapid expansion, David was able to steer his company back on course, ensuring it remained a place where both customers and employees felt valued. Reflecting on the journey, David realized that leadership wasn't just about making decisions from the top. It was about staying connected to the ground, listening to the people who made the business possible, and ensuring that every part of the organization lived up to its purpose. Hunter's Haven wasn't just a business, it was a community, and David was committed to making it stronger than ever. Mentorship, Bryce began to show remarkable improvement. Under Tom's steady guidance, he started engaging more respectfully with customers, taking greater care in his work, and even offering to help his colleagues during busy times. What initially seemed like an impossible turnaround became a testament to the power of strong leadership and second chances. David's decision to step into the shoes of an undercover CEO wasn't just a bold experiment, it was a turning point for the company. It reminded him of the core values that had driven Hunter's Haven from a single store to a nationwide success: respect, dedication, and care for people. He realized that while growth and profits were essential, they could never come at the cost of the human connections that made the business thrive. As the months went by, the changes David implemented began to reshape Hunter's Haven. The new training programs empowered employees to provide exceptional service while reinforcing the company's mission. The anonymous feedback system gave both employees and customers a voice, ensuring that issues could be identified and addressed swiftly. Adjusted staffing levels reduced the pressure on employees, fostering a more supportive and collaborative environment. Tom's promotion to assistant manager was a defining moment not just for him but for the entire store. His leadership inspired others, creating a culture where hard work and dedication were celebrated. Employees felt valued and morale soared. Customers began noticing the difference too, leaving glowing reviews about the improved service and atmosphere at store number 307. Reflecting on his journey, David knew this transformation wasn't just about fixing one store, it was about reaffirming the heart of his business. He had learned that staying connected to the day-to-day realities of his company was just as important as making decisions in the boardroom. The people, employees like Tom and even Bryce, were the lifeblood of Hunter's Haven. Without them, no amount of expansion or revenue growth could sustain the company's success. For David, this experience wasn't the end of a story, it was the beginning of a renewed commitment to leadership grounded in empathy and action. He resolved to continue visiting stores, talking to employees, and staying engaged with the realities of his business. Being an undercover CEO had reminded him of the importance of leading from both the top and the ground level, ensuring that his vision for Hunter's Haven was lived out in every interaction, every day. That, friends, is the power of seeing your business from the ground up. David's journey is a reminder that true leadership is about staying connected to the people who make it all possible. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Soul Deep Stories for more amazing tales of transformation, leadership, and human connection. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for being a part of this journey, and we'll see you in the next story. The story of David Hunter serves as a powerful reminder that leadership goes beyond strategy and numbers. It's fundamentally about people. The narrative highlights how even the most successful businesses can lose sight of their foundational values when they focus solely on expansion and profitability. This case offers an invaluable lesson for leaders across industries. Growth must be balanced with a commitment to the individuals who make that growth possible. One of the standout elements of this story is the contrast between Bryce and Tom, which underscores the importance of cultivating a positive workplace culture. Bryce's behavior reveals the potential consequences of neglecting employee accountability and training, while Tom exemplifies the ideal qualities of dedication and professionalism. Recognizing and rewarding employees like Tom not only fosters loyalty but also sets a standard for others to emulate. David's decision to become an undercover CEO was pivotal, not just as a bold leadership experiment, but as a humbling acknowledgement that even the top executives can lose touch with the realities on the ground. By stepping into the shoes of both his employees and customers, David was able to identify blind spots in his organization that traditional metrics couldn't reveal. This approach demonstrates the transformative power of empathy in leadership. The systemic changes David implemented, better training programs, anonymous feedback systems, and fair recognition, highlight the importance of creating an environment where employees feel valued and empowered. These initiatives don't just improve individual stores, they strengthen the company's foundation, ensuring sustainable growth and long-term success. Ultimately, this story isn't just about fixing a broken system, it's about re-establishing trust and human connection. In a world where businesses often prioritize efficiency over empathy, David's journey is a testament to the value of staying connected to the heart of any enterprise, its people. It's a lesson that resonates far beyond the walls of Hunter's Haven. I hope today is a wonderful day for you, and that the messages about business, life, dedication, loyalty, and ambition in work shared on the Soul Deep Stories channel bring fresh colors to your life and open the door to many other valuable lessons. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to hear more amazing lessons every day. What's one life or work lesson that has inspired you the most? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.